Hey everyone, now you probably noticed the Nothing Ear 2, they're a massive upgrade over the Nothing Ear 1. They definitely weren't a recommendation from me, but Nothing listened to the feedback. They improved them in every single way. It's a massive upgrade. So now they are worthy to go up against the best earbuds in the $150 price range. And I'll add a little bonus comparison with some even cheaper earbuds at the end. Now, starting with comfort, the Nothing Ear 2, one of the most comfortable earbuds that I've ever tested. The earbuds are super compact. They have an AirPods Pro-like ear tip and fit. Easily one of the most comfortable earbuds out of the buds here today. The Liberty 4 come pretty close, followed by the JBL Live Pro 2 and Sony Link Buds S, then the Galaxy Buds Pro 2, and in last place, the Jabra Elite 7 Pro. Still not terrible, but they do have a bit of suction and pressure, where all the other earbuds have a very minimal amount. Now, when it comes to how secure the buds stay in when you're doing stuff, you're exercising, you're moving around, Jabra Elite 7 Pro and Galaxy Buds Pro 2 are the best. They fit me well where I barely have to readjust them with any kind of exercise I'm doing, but the rest of the buds here today closely followed, at least for my ear canal shape and size. They all stay in really well where I'm only having to readjust every now and then, no matter what it is I'm doing, running, weight training, clenching my face and making some pretty weird training faces. But with running specifically, the Jabra Elite 7 Pro and Sony Link Buds S have the most amount of body-borne noise, so hearing your own breathing and hearing the impact that you make on the ground. The rest of the earbuds have a very minimal amount. So overall, the Nothing Ear 2, great with comfort and great with security. Now, when it comes to the IPX rating, the Nothing Ear 2 are giving you an IP55 dust and water resistant rating. The only other earbud that has dust resistance are the Jabra Elite 7 Pro. They have an IP57 rating though, so the 7 stands for waterproof. You can actually submerge those buds in water. Same with the Galaxy Buds Pro 2, but they don't have any dust resistance. And the rest of the buds have your usual IPX4 and IPX5, fine for splashes of water, use in the rain. Can't submerge those buds in water though. But Nothing takes it a step further because they're the only pair here where the case is actually IP5 for dust and water resistant as well. Now we're going to talk about the case and battery life now, and this is where the Nothing Ear 2 starts to fall behind because with noise cancelling on, you're only getting 4 hours from the earbuds and 22.5 hours in total with the case. Now it's not terrible, but taking into account the overall case size, I was honestly expecting a little bit more total battery life there. The actual surface area of the case is one of the largest here today, but it is the thinnest out of all the cases here, which is going to be the most important factor with how pocketable the case is. Overall, smallest case are the Galaxy Buds Pro 2, which also don't have the best battery life, but that case is slightly thicker than the Nothing Ear 2. And all the pairs here today are compatible with wireless charging except for the Link Buds S. Now, when it comes to control, the Nothing Ear 2 are utilizing Force Touch, just like the AirPods Pro 2. In my opinion, they do it even better with slightly more sensitivity. I noticed no issues with going for a press and not getting any feedback. Now, the Soundcore Liberty 4 also use squeeze controls. It's just not as responsive as the Ear 2. You get a bit of click feedback, but it's just not as intuitive as the Ear 2. And I found with the Liberty 4, when adjusting the earbud from the top of the stem with my thumb on the bottom of the stem, this would cause me to accidentally activate the touch controls when I didn't want to. Back to the Ear 2, you also get some great customization in the app. And in there, you have the option to add a double press and hold, which will allow you to add volume up and down on the right and the left earbud. Now, the Elite 7 Pro and Galaxy Buds Pro 2 also allow you to control everything. On the Buds Pro 2, you can turn on the Edge Tap feature. All you have to do is double tap your ear and that'll increase volume on your right ear, decrease volume on your left ear. Where the Elite 7 Pro use physical buttons, the volume control is stuck to the long hold on the left and right earbud. So this does mean it's pretty easy to press the earbud into your ear canal. I do find pressing in and up a little bit reduces the amount it presses into your ear canal, but definitely not as intuitive as the Buds Pro 2 and the Ear 2. Finally, the JBL Live Pro 2 and Link Buds S allow for some customization, but if you want to add volume control, you have to sacrifice your playback control or your noise cancelling control. So you can't have everything on the earbuds: play, pause, skipping tracks, noise cancelling, and volume control, which you can get on all the other earbuds. Finally, all the earbuds do have in-ear detection to automatically pause and play your music. I did find on the Ear 2, at least on my pair, it would be a little bit delayed sometimes, mainly on the left earbud. Sometimes the left earbud in-ear detection will just stop working, and then it will start working again. So not sure if it's a faulty pair on my end, but just keeping that in mind. Next category is connectivity. So you're getting Bluetooth 5.3 on the Ear 2 and Liberty 4. The rest of the pairs have Bluetooth 5.2. The Link Buds S and Liberty 4 have the LDAC codec for some high-res audio. The Ear 2 uses the similar LHDC codec. It's basically LDAC with some lower latency, as long as your device is compatible with it. Not many phones do have it, but of course, the Nothing Phone 1 does have LHDC, so you should expect some lower latency with a compatible phone while still getting that small bump up in sound quality. And all the earbuds here do have multi-point connection. This is actually the first time in a comparison video where I could actually say all the earbuds allow you to connect two devices to them at the same time. Throwing it back a year ago, I definitely wouldn't have thought that most of the newer earbuds would have multi-point connection, but it's great to see. Now, when it comes to latency with watching videos and movies, all the pairs are completely fine here. Now, if you're into gaming latency, here are the results I got in my test on both iOS and Android. The Nothing Ear 2 are the only pair that does have a low latency gaming mode, but even in my quick test, it wasn't the lowest latency, but generally if you're around 200 milliseconds, that's as low as it gets. Great for fast reaction games like shooters. As long as you're below 400 milliseconds, that's still fine for casual games. Now let's see how the call quality compares. In my recent test with the Nothing Ear 2 against the AirPods Pro 2, the Nothing Ear 2 actually had better call quality. So let's see how it compares. I'm gonna play the recordings in what I think is the order of worst to best. All right, so starting the test here, recording off my iPhone 12 Pro, so you get an idea of the noise going on around me.
All right, so here is the call quality of the Sony LinkBuds S. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here is the call quality of the Jabra Elite 7 Pro. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here is the call quality of the JBL Live Pro 2. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here is the call quality of the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here is the call quality of the Soundcore Liberty 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here is the call quality of the Nothing Ear 2. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
All right, before we talk about noise canceling, if you're enjoying the video here, please consider subscribing so you can see more comparisons like this, regular reviews. I cover a lot of true wireless earbuds. So subscribe and join the Picky family. But now, how I test my noise canceling, I chuck on my soundbar and I play simulation plane and crowd noise so I get high frequency, low frequency, some mid frequency sounds, and I also test all my earbuds at the gym for some real world audio noise canceling testing. And I'm just gonna throw up my noise canceling ranking with all the latest earbuds that I have tested so you can see all the differences there with all the earbuds that I've tested. And it's honestly super close with all the earbuds, except for the Elite 7 Pro. They're a bit lower on the ranking there. And the Buds Pro 2, only about 5% stronger than the rest of those buds in the shared number 5 spot. So all the buds in that number 5 spot, which includes the Ear 2, very strong noise canceling, just not the best out there. Now, when it comes to the transparency mode, all the buds here are incredibly close. The Galaxy Buds Pro 2, just the best, followed by the JBL Live Pro 2 and the Jabra Elite 7 Pro. And the rest of the earbuds, all pretty much the same kind of performance. Talking about the Nothing Ear 2 specifically though, they do have a little bit of white noise hiss, and you sadly don't have any option to customize the strength of the transparency, which is a little bit strange because you can adjust the strength of the noise canceling. So overall with the Ear 2, it works really well with general awareness, being able to hear voices, talking to someone right in front of you, it's okay. And also being able to hear your own voice when talking, I find it struggles a little bit more. Same with the rest of the earbuds, it's only the Buds Pro 2 that allows you to hear your own voice quite well. And they do have a pretty cool kind of hidden feature when it comes to wind noise reduction. So basically how that works is if you have noise canceling on or transparency mode on, if the microphones pick up wind coming in through the microphones, it'll start to switch off the noise canceling or the transparency so you don't hear wind coming in through your ears, which is nice to have, but it's also nice to be able to turn that feature off. Now the Soundcore Liberty 4 also have this feature, but you can turn it on and off in the app, because I found with the Nothing Ear 2, it's a little bit too sensitive. So I'll be going for a walk outside on a not very windy day. The mics will pick up a bit of wind noise and then turn the transparency mode off. And it takes about 10 seconds for it to kick back in. And then if it picks up wind again, it turns on and off. Same with noise canceling. And it's just kind of annoying. So you definitely can't run with the Nothing Ear 2 in with transparency mode on, because the transparency mode will just automatically switch off and you have no option to turn this feature off. I feel like this is an easy fix with firmware though. And knowing how Nothing takes on feedback, I reckon they'll easily fix it. But now let's talk about what's most important, sound quality. And the Nothing Ear 2 right out of the box have one of the best balance tunings I've ever heard. It's balanced, but to the point where you get a nice deep sub bass rumble, a nice blend of both sub bass and mid bass. So it's gonna work with any kind of music you throw at it. Even if you like a little bit more of a bass boosted tuning, it's definitely not bass head certified, but you get a really nice amount here. Mids are natural and you get nice, crisp, detailed treble. And this is the kind of treble response where it's super detailed, but doesn't get harsh or sibilant at all. They also have the best sound personalization with the hearing test built in. The Liberty 4 have a hearing test, but for me, it just didn't really do anything. If anything, it made the earbuds sound a little bit worse. And the Jabra Elite 7 Pro also have pretty decent sound personalization, but nothing takes it to another level. It's a super detailed hearing test. It takes about 10 minutes, but it's worth spending the time on doing. For me, it increased the treble, added some nice sparkle, bit of extra detail, and I personally like a pretty bass boosted tuning, so it also increases the bass a little bit while still retaining a nice clean tuning, and it just takes the buds to another level. And you can EQ them further with the sound personalization on and also adjust the strength down to the percent of how strong that personalization is. So with that balanced tuning out of the box, adding in the sound personalization, easily the best sound overall with all the earbuds here today. The Liberty 4 do come pretty close. They are bringing you a slightly more bass boosted kind of V-shaped tuning. If you do prefer a little bit more bass, you might prefer the Liberty 4 because you can push more out with them with the EQ. They also have some spatial audio options in the app which sound a little bit over the top. They're more of a fun thing to play around with. Now compared to the Galaxy Buds Pro 2, they're also a pretty balanced tuning out of the box. I do find the treble on the Buds Pro 2 a little bit over the top, especially if I want to listen to a little bit higher volume above 60%. Now the JBL Live Pro 2, these are going to be the best bud to go for if you want some nice over the top deep subwoofer bass. Out of the box, they're pretty lacking in the treble. I like to boost the treble basically to the max level. That's my main issue with the Live Pro 2. The treble is a bit lacking, but if you like a bass boosted over the top tuning, you can EQ them in the app and take them to some pretty nice bass boosted levels while still retaining nice clarity. Now the Elite 7 Pro, kind of a similar sound to the Live Pro 2, but they do have much nicer treble and better overall clarity. But comparing the Ear 2 to the Elite 7 Pro, Ear 2 gets the win. And finally, the LinkBuds S, also a pretty balanced tuning. There's more focus there in the mid-range, and I do have to EQ the LinkBuds S quite a bit to sound good, mainly boosting the treble and the bass slightly, but still the Ear 2 get the win. Just a cleaner sound, nice instrument separation, and a fuller bass response. Now, I asked you what you wanted me to compare the Ear 2 to, and you said you wanted the AirPro 3 and the Edifier W240TN. So let's start with the Earphone AirPro 3. They are a lot cheaper and they are bringing you very similar features and quality. Multi-point connection, the noise canceling is just as strong, full app support, full control customization, better battery life in the Ear 2. But when it comes to the sound quality, this is where the Ear 2 gets the easy win. The AirPro 3, a bit more of a bass boosted tuning out of the box. I did find I have to EQ them quite a bit to sound good, to the point where you have to EQ them so much that they do start to sound a little bit strange. Still, AirPro 3, one of the best value earbuds you can get right now. Now, compared to my current favorite for sound quality under $100, the Edifier W240TN, the features are a bit lacking. You don't get multi-point connection. The noise canceling is decent, but it's about 15% stronger on the Ear 2. You're pretty limited with the control customization on the 240TN. But when it comes to sound quality, this is incredibly close. I'm talking about this with the dynamic EQ on the 240TN and the sound personalization on the Ear 2. They actually have a very similar tuning. The 240 pushing out slightly more bass, and the treble comes across a little bit more direct, but the Ear 2 treble has a little bit more sparkle, and overall the Ear 2 just sounds a little bit cleaner, better instrument separation, and a slightly wider soundstage, but a really close comparison there. The 240TN, if it's pure sound quality you like, at the price that they're at, still the best option you can get. But overall, the Ear 2, a serious contender today. They don't really have any faults except for the subpar battery life, and that's it. It's an easy recommendation from me. But now if you want to see how the Ear 2 compare to the AirPods Pro 2, I got a detailed video right here, so check it out. In the meantime, stay picky, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.